But there's a hockey game tonight. Canes Columbus. And this being the Adam Gold Show. I mean, even though Tim Donnelly's sitting in, that's me, the host of The Drive on 99.9 The Fan every single weekday from 3 to 6, except for today. I'm here and we'll have bowl games on. I encourage you to check it out. Please follow us on YouTube, all those sort of things. I would greatly appreciate it if you give our show a chance, especially if you like this one. But here's the thing with the Canes. I over the last week and a half, I did kind of an experiment, and it's confirmed my two biggest concerns for the Canes this year. I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes here. You all don't know me as well as hopefully the listeners of my show do. I take pride, and this is like a stupid, I'm going to pat myself on the back here for a second. I take pride in actually watching every play of the games I talk about.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to not watch a Canes game and then come in here and be like, oh, Goaltending had a great day just because he was like a +2 in the plus-minus.
That's why I stayed up to watch a football game last night knowing my alarm clock was going to go off at 4:30.
There you go. And then somebody texts you like, Goaltending's hurt. It's like, probably should have watched the game. But because of that, you can fall into ruts, right? I watch games with notes out, either my notes app on my phone, sometimes a literal notepad that I write on with actual ink. You can fall into a rut where you almost before the game even starts, you're already scribbling at the top of your notes, like, where is Fetch? You're already scribbling, why isn't anyone giving the Canes a net front presence? Because you've been saying it for enough time that it's you're looking for it, right? You're looking for, I don't know, did Seth Jarvis just grab his shoulder? Like you're hunting for it because you've been worried about it for so long. So last week, due to the holidays, right, I took a week off, and I went to Florida to my parents' house, had my niece, my nephew, my son was there. We did the whole family shebang. Games were on, right? Don't get me wrong. We're a sports family. I say that all the time. So while we're playing cards, the television is on the game. Or while we're playing make-believe with the kids or jumping in the pool, the game was on, but you don't watch it the same. I don't have my notes out. I'm eating food. I'm drinking drinks. I kind of shut down for a little bit. And then yesterday, back to work, got in here early, a couple hours, started to put on all of the Canes games that I didn't get a chance to really dive into. And I call this, it's not an original name. This is like a fresh eyes experiment, right? I factory reset my eyes on watching hockey, and I came back and same exact two things, right? It wasn't, I was kind of forcing this. It wasn't, you know what? I thought the cause was this, but it was actually that. The two exact same things stood out, and they are edge. By that, you could toughness, grit, fire, sandpaper, whatever you want to call it. The Adam Gold Show. Tim Donnelly sitting in for Adam Gold. Whatever you want to call it, that is lacking on the Canes. And then the second is goalies. The goalie situation. And it's not Pyotr Kochetkov specifically. It's the rotation. It's the confidence. It's he can't shoulder he can't play every night. And if he tries to play every night, you're going to get a lesser version of Pyotr Kochetkov. Let's break them down to two things, right? It's the edge and the goalie situation. Have you heard the term woe versus go?
No.
All right, this is one of my favorite coaching expressions, which is coaches would rather say whoa than go. Think of it like a horse, right? You'd rather have to go, ooh, easy, buddy, and rein them in, right? Bring them back. Whoa, bring them back after they cross the line, than have a horse that doesn't want to run that you constantly have to go, come on, man, go.
It's the same thing about asking for forgiveness rather than permission.
Kind of. Very similar. Only from the opposite perspective, right?
Right.
Rather have a horse that's
Reverse
I'll ask for forgiveness rather than permission. The Canes seem like a team this year where Rod, if he's the jockey, has to do a lot of go. Come on. I'd much rather have to bring my team back when they cross a line than have to get them artificially jacked up and energized every game. This is a compliment to the Canes' people and maybe something that they're lacking as a hockey team. They seem like really nice guys. They seem funny. They seem quiet. They seem like really nice guys. And I can't think of a really good hockey team. I can't think of a really good any team sport team that I've ever been around, that I've ever covered, that didn't have a few guys where I'd be like, I don't know if you want to bring them to a bar in an opposing team city because you're probably going to get into a fight. I think Sebastian Aho could walk into a bar anywhere in the world and would probably leave with like 3 new friends. Like that's just how that team is built. There's not much, whoa, buddy. I mean, hey, you can't do that. There's not much of that coming from the leadership with the Canes. And I think you need it. I've asked this question on my show 100 times. Victoria, I'll ask you the same question.
Okay.
And there are 2 answers that I get most often. Is there anyone on the Canes who this statement is true for?
Okay.
I love them on my team, but I would hate them if I had to play against them. And I'm not talking about like because they're good. Like, oh, they're going to go score a goal. Because there's a bunch of those guys. Like, I'd much rather play against bad players than good players. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about instigating. I'm talking about like, gosh, they're like if I saw them on the street, I'd give them a piece of my mind.
Right, like Crosby, basically.
Or even more like Marchand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, because everybody always did Crosby's dirty work.
Very, very. He's got to protect against concussions, but that's another whole other conversation.
Right. Yeah.
Is there anyone on the Canes that fits? Like, and in basketball, it's Patrick Beverley. And like, is there anything like that?
No.
I agree.
Mm-mm.
And I think you need a couple.
Yeah.
At least one big personality that way.
Yeah.
Draymond Green. At least one big personality. I don't think they have it, and I'm concerned about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then goalie. The goalie situation is the other thing that stands out. I think Pyotr Kochetkov, when he's feeling it, is as good as you need.
Yes.
There's also times where I think you need to, go N64, take him out of the machine, right? Clean out the cartridge and put it back in.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you can do that with Dustin Tokarski, right? I don't know if you can feel comfortable going, it's not a back-to-back. Pyotr's had 3 days off.
Yeah.
But he just needs one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's put Tokarski in there. No disrespect to Dusty Tokarski. I mean, he hasn't played in the NHL in a very long time, and he's done admirably. But it's just not the same there. Freddie Anderson, you can. I don't think you can depend on Freddie Anderson to be there when you need it.
No, definitely not nowadays. No.
It's the Kochetkov thing, and I feel like I need to establish things that people that hear me talk all the time know about me. I'm a massive Pyotr Kochetkov fan.
I love him. Yes.
I was driving the bandwagon for him to be the postseason goalie last year.
Yes.
We have receipts on that. You can go check the podcast recorded before.
Oh yeah, he should have played more in the playoffs.
I thought he should have been goalie 1 in the playoffs, or go with the one game rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there are specific moments, and it's like double dutch. Now, no. How about now? No, now. You have to hit the right time. There are specific moments where he just needs 2 periods on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs
a breather.
like a Thursday off. And part of it's because he's young. Part of it's because just his personality. Part of it is because, he's diving out at the face-off circle on his back, throwing his stick, and he's doing something crazy. And you're just like,
let's
throttle
reel
down.
it in, buddy.
Canes can't do that right now.
Mm-mm.
It's like, oh, he's going a little crazy. I hope he stops going crazy. Like, that's not good enough. And that's one of the ones I like, the fresh eyes thing. I was very excited to see if it stuck around, because I could see that being like reputation over actuality. Whereas, hey, I know Pyotr can go crazy. I know he's a little skittish. I know he likes to poke check. And you start looking for those things. And I did the week away, shut down the engines, started them back up, watched, and immediately I was like, oh, I wasn't making that up.
Yeah.
And that's a well-earned reputation, right? Sometimes reps are earned.
It's real.
The interesting part is the edge. That's a locker room issue. You need to bring someone in or have somebody, start riling them up. Have you ever watched The West Wing?
No.
The show?
Mm-mm.
All right. It's neither here nor there if you've seen it, but I just need to know how much background to give. There is a scene where the president, or running for president, I forget, is going to a debate. And his wife, the eventual first lady, feels that he's a little too comfortable. So, like, with 30 seconds to air, she cuts his tie. halfway down his shirt, snip.
Wow. Now go.
Now, oh my gosh, he's yelling at somebody, take your tie off, give it to me. Blah, 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 da, da, da. Right. And then to air in 10 seconds. And he's still tying his tie and he gets up there and boom, he hits the ground running. I think the Canes need that first lady, right? Mm-hmm. I think they need somebody who's like, we're looking too nice in here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you a name, right? I'm gonna walk up and make up a quote that the opposing team's blue liner said about Seth Jarvis and go, Seth, did you hear what this guy said about you? Whether he said it or not, I don't care. You need somebody to stir the drink, and you need a co-pilot goalie for Kochetkov.
Well, that'd be helpful.
But that's a front office question. Can't solve that in the locker room. You can solve the edge in the locker room.
That's why I always wonder if he's got to shake out the just. I love his spunk. That's the thing. I don't want
him to lose it. That can be the spark occasionally.
Right. I don't want him to get rid of the spunk. I love him for it, but it's just sometimes there's a place. There's a time and a place for it. And he just
again, all sports, especially team sports, there are a ton of guys, greats, legends, Hall of Famers that were too spunky, to use your word, at 25 years old.
Yeah.
And matured into great by 30.
Yes.
And by the way, that's not even just team sports. That's humans. There's a lot of people with too much spunk at 25 that by 30 have reeled it in and they know when to unleash it and when to bring it back. It just takes time. And in the meantime, your team has to do enough to cover for you. Now I want Adam's opinion on those. I'll have to ask him when he comes back after the holiday. Hey, man, this is what I'm seeing. Are you seeing the same thing?